like so this is how I would put together to make a quilt. We'll pretend this is your piece of material that you have for the back of your quilt. You're going to put it the pattern side down. And the idea of the tape that I have on here is that you want to stretch out the backing fabric so it's as smooth as possible. You don't want to have any creases in this backing fabric, because when you actually start sewing across the top, you can sew the crease in. So I use just ordinary decorator's masking tape to hold it down on there. Then you're going to put, this is the batting that I was talking about. I don't know if John can catch this. It's very thin and flat. It's cotton. This one I think was specifically for baby's quilt. It's just what I have. I just like the flat finish. So you're going to put your batting over that, and then we're pretending this is the top fabric, and you would put your pattern side facing you. The top fabric is slightly, I mean it's exaggerated here, but I have it slightly smaller when I'm doing a quilt, because when you're sewing, it's good if you can go straight across and into the bit that you're actually going to cut off. It just holds the fabric together a little bit better. So you would make a sandwich like I've got that, so pattern side down, that's the wrong side, tape down nice and smooth. Your batting, smooth down. If there's any bumps in the batting, cut them off with scissors before you start to sew. And then your top material, pattern side up. Make it nice and smooth. And then I use these pins, which are flat head. I don't know if John's catching that. And then you just put them about every 3, 4, 6 inches just to hold it in place. And the idea, you're supposed to alternate the way that you place your pins, and it just holds the fabric better. And that's how you would put your sandwich together. Like that. Smoothing out all the time so you have no wrinkles, or as little wrinkles as possible. Then take your tape off when you've got your sandwich made. Sew your sandwich however you wanted to do it. And as I say, if you can go over into the batting fabric, it just holds it that little bit better. Even though you're going to hide it, you're not going to see it when it's done, but it just holds the actual material, the whole sandwich together a little bit better. So pretend this is what you've already done. You've done your sewing. You've put it together as you wanted it. You've trimmed your edges down so they're kind of, can you get that, John? They're kind of even there. Then you get, this is your binding that's going to go around the side. Usually a 2 to a 2.5 inch strip of fabric, either contrast or satin ribbon's nice for baby's quilt. I think I put that on mine, didn't I? So about 2 to 2.5 inches. Fold it in half and iron it with the crease. That makes it a lot easier for you. Place it around the edge, going right up to the edge of your batting, and then pin it or free sew it, whatever you're most comfortable with, a 1/2 inch in the seam if you've got enough of the material. If you're stuck on volume of material, if you don't have enough, just make it a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So say if you did that to a 1/2 inch seam, and this goes on the front of your material, so this is the top of the quilt that's going to be seen. You're going to pin your material right sides together so you have the wrong side of the binding facing you. Sew that with your machine all the way around. I guess I should have done this to the edge. You need to leave a good 1.5 inches extra when you start, extra material, and 1.5 inches extra when you finish. Sew that with the machine. When you finish, fold it over so that your fold that you've ironed in goes nicely to the end of your material. Turn it on the other side. Fold this raw edge under your 1/2 inch, and then this bit I hand sew down because it gives you a nicer edge. You can machine stitch it, but you have to make sure that your machine stitching stays on the other side and not onto your quilt, onto the binding, and that's pretty difficult, so it's better to hand sew it on the back. And then when you get to where you've got your two ends of the binding coming together. It's pretty fiddly. So you've got, this is the end you've sewn, it's flat, this is the end that's coming into it. Put the two together. Oh, hell's bells, what do I do with this? Oh, that's it. I fold them back, put them together, that's it, and sew them over. That bit I can talk you through when you get to that, because that was a bit of a faff. So you've got your one edge there, loose, not sewn. This is the other edge coming around, loose, not sewn. Fold back, quarter, half inch, however much you've got to spare on that side. Same on that side, bring one end over so it overlaps, and then you're going to continue your sewing your half inch allowance over there, and then you just fold that over and then fold it over again, and then when you're hand sewing at the back you can just hand sew over that to finish it off if you want. I hope that makes sense. I'll email this to you tonight, and then I'll be on MSN in the morning so you can ask us what the hell I was talking about. Okay, bye. No, don't.